Today's video is brought to you by Amaze. Head on over to amaze.com/THT to learn more.
I'm Abe Miller.
I'm Micha Miller.
These are our boys, Asher and Leif. And this is a 2005 Bluebird All-American rear engine. And we've been in it for about 4 months now and on the road for about a month. And we're super excited to share it with you guys so you can check out what we got inside and how everything works day to day.
Welcome to our living room. We have a ton of couch space. We have 8 feet of couch on this side, 4 feet of couch on this side. What we love about it is they both fold out into beds. They also each fold up and have storage underneath. So we use this space a ton. We actually just bought a 4-foot table to put in between the couches as well. So we sit on either side and we can have dinners as a family together because we have limited space right here for our bar seating. I did choose this faux leather because we have 2 rambunctious boys and it doesn't stain or tear or anything like that. A question that we get asked a lot is, do we have seat belts and where are they? So when we park, we have 4 seat belts on this couch and 2 seat belts on this couch. And when we're driving, the kids are both seat belted in their car seat. This is our dinette / bar top. It folds down when we're traveling, and the boys typically sit up here and eat breakfast while we're kind of messing around in the kitchen. And we also do a lot of homeschool and arts and crafts projects on this table. The one thing we do like doing is folding it down. For instance, during Christmas we had our tree here, so this was down a lot and it just opens up this space and we can hang out if we're having gatherings or having people over, and so it does open up this space a lot. This is our fan that we converted from a Walmart $17 box fan. What we did was we basically just kept the emergency exit as is. We spray painted it all white. And then while we use it, we pop the hatch up and air can flow out. We can also use it when the hatch is down, and it acts as like an interior fan if we just want to circulate the air in the inside. We're super happy with it. We kept both of the emergency exits in the bus, the front and the back. So if there were to be an emergency, we can always pop that out easily and hop out the roof there, as well as in the back. The whole setup, the fan was $17, and then spray paint and some wood for the screen, and then the screen lining, so maybe 30 bucks all in. We can use this fan on or off grid. We do have to be careful because it pulls more power than a regular DC fan would, but we have a generator and we have a larger battery bank. We owned a home in California for about 5 years. We bought it and it was a complete dump. We gutted the whole thing and basically made it our own. And then we were like, why are we doing this? So we want to travel, we want more time together. He was working all the time, I was at home with the kids all the time, and so we just kind of wanted something different. We got introduced to the Skoolie lifestyle, and that kind of just brought it all home for us. We were sold and there was no turning back.
It was an interesting evolution because we knew we were selling the house, we knew we wanted to travel. We found ourselves wandering through RV lots, looking at like B vans and even a couple of Class A's, wondering, trying to figure out how much space we were going to need. And I don't even remember the full evolution to like, let's build it ourselves. But it was a lot of like, hey, we remodeled a house, why don't we build a bus? It should be easy.
Yeah, we like making things our own and custom. And so this kind of just fit everything. The travel, flipping things, and we love it.
Hi, I'm Kat with Tiny Home Tours. Today's video is brought to you by Amaze. We're partnering with Amaze, Tiny Heirloom, and the charity organization Girls Build to bring you the chance to win your very own custom-built tiny home on wheels worth $150,000. That's right, you could win your very own custom-built tiny home on wheels built by the awesome folks at Tiny Heirloom. The team at Tiny Heirloom will provide you with a personalized design consultation to make sure your tiny home has everything you've been dreaming of. From beautiful architectural design features to luxury finishing touches. Enter now for your chance to win with the added bonus of the opportunity to help out our charity organization partner, Girls Build. Girls Build is a nonprofit organization whose goal is to help inspire curiosity and confidence in girls ages 8 to 14 by teaching them practical skills in carpentry, electrical, bike maintenance, and more. Head on over to www.omaze.com/THT for your chance to win and to learn more.
Welcome to our kitchen. This is my happy place. I love cooking in it. It's super convenient and comfortable to cook in here. So what we did when we designed it was we did want open storage on the wall. A lot of people, our most asked question is, don't things fly off the shelves when you're driving? And we don't drive with our bowls and our plates up here, but everything else is fixed down. I wanted a large sink, something that we had in our old house, and so I just wanted to kind of bring it over and feel homey and comfortable in here. So this is a 24-inch farmhouse sink, and we love it. This is also one of the things I wanted was a big faucet that I can kind of clean easily out with the sink, and so this has been really nice to have. We do have a large apartment size oven and stove. It's a unique stove. The Unique is the brand, and it's considered an off-grid stove. The only thing that draws from electric is the light and the convection oven fan. So if you don't want to use those items, it's all propane. So it's really nice when you're boondocking or off-grid. Backsplash is actually real brick. That's one of my must-haves. I wanted something super homey, and that just is really like a warm feeling for me. But it is the veneer brick, so it's skinnier. It does add a little bit of weight to the vest, but it was something that we weren't too worried about. So we went with a butcher block countertop from Lowe's, and what we did was we stained it and then we sealed it with some tung oils. On either side of the oven, I have a spice rack over here, and I have essential oils up top. We also have storage under here for more pots and pans, baking items. This is a pull-out as well. We have a dish rack, some cutting boards. We wanted to have somewhere to hide our trash, so we have a slide-out trash can as well. Utensils up top here. We have utensils for 8 people, so if anyone wants to come over for dinner. Baking items and knives. We have more baking stuff, whisks and cheese grater, and then down here we keep our glass storage containers. Okay, so on this side of the kitchen we have our apartment size fridge. It's plenty of storage. We can basically go about a week without going back to the grocery store. It is efficient, but it isn't DC, so it draws more than a DC or a propane fridge. This is what we like to call our little coffee bar. We keep our coffee cups and coffee items up top. We have our junk drawer. Doesn't everybody have a junk drawer? Where we have our kitchen towels and pot holders. And then down below, we have this pull-out storage for pots and pans, and then we have our blender and mixing bowls and our crock pot down below. Above the fridge, we have more storage, and one of my favorite items in our kitchen is our pull-out pantry. This is where we keep all of our food, and it's plenty of storage for us for about, like I said, about a week. We go to the grocery store, and it's super heavy, so we have put 25-pound magnets, so it sticks and it stays closed while we're driving. Something that we also wanted was the ability to close off the front half from the back half, so we could put the kids to bed and still be able to hang out comfortably in the front. So we did this little pocket door here, and as a bonus, when it's cold weather, the back half of the bus stays about 20 degrees warmer than the front half, so it's been really, really nice.
Going into this into this lifestyle for me was really just acknowledging how wasteful we tend to be when we have limitless resources available to us. You'd shower for extended periods of time. Like now, even when I shower in a hotel or in a house, I turn the water off when I'm soaping just out of habit.
I had to let go of the idea that showering every day and blow drying my hair was something that I could do.
That's the off-grid side of things. The unique thing about this bus is that while it does have off-grid capability, it does have this very, it feels like home. I mean, you still have the ability to do those things, blow dry your hair, shower every day. That's usually in a situation where you're grid tied, but you do have the ability to live that way, or if you want to just get out in the woods, take it one shower a week and just enjoy nature, you can do that as well. Welcome to the back half of the bus. As you can see, myself at 6'5", I'm standing comfortably. We did raise the roof on the bus, which allowed us to do like a standard sized doorway, and then of course have all this headroom. I love it because before the bus was literally, I was like walking through scraping my head. So we've got plenty of space. In the back half of the bus, you start here with the tiniest closet in the world. And we use it for all kinds of storage. We have a table that we bring out when we have more guests, if we have guests dining with us, a stool for Micah to be able to access the fan that you saw earlier. It's nice to have a closet. Most of our clothing storage is drawers, everything's small, rolled up, but if you need to like hang, a jacket or bulkier items, you can hang in the closet here. So we got our boys in bunks with sliding barn doors. So they have their own little private space, which has really worked out well. These guys, when they need to just go unwind, or if they want to have a place to call their own, or have a friend over and take them to their room, they're able to bring them into their bunk. They have all their fun little stuff. They have a window to the world over here. In the bottom shelf is a hidden cubby where they're able to put more toys or whatever little treasures they come across. We did put power in each bunk, so you have 2 outlets as well as a little light. So it just kind of gives them this their own room kind of feel, which was something that was important to us when we were designing our bus, so that everybody felt like they had their own space. Underneath the bunks, we have clothing storage for the boys. So these pop out and you've got their clothing. So in designing the boys' bunks, we did a window that doesn't open. We did that so the boys weren't popping out in the middle of the night to go run through the woods. But that did also create a situation where we don't have great ventilation if they have their doors closed. So my vision is to add some sort of vent fan or like a small DC powered ventilation system just to keep airflow in here. In the hallway here, you see one of 3 interconnected smoke detectors. So when we were building the bus, I was thinking a lot about like safety, fire safety, early warning, getting in and out. We do have emergency exits in the front and in the back here. If you had to an emergency, you could go through the window, but if one smoke alarm goes off, they all go off. So if you have a situation in the front, you'll get warning in the back, and I have one underneath the bed over our battery bank. So if there's any issue down there, boom, we're well informed. They work great, they're very loud. Welcome to the bathroom. In designing this space, we were being conscious of space, but we were able to get a pretty decently sized spaced bathroom. We have a 30 by 30 inch shower pan with it's called a Duma wall. It's a Duma wall tile. It's PVC vinyl type material, super lightweight. When we were designing the bus, we had talked about doing actual tile, but as we were building and going through the process, I started to pay more attention to like how much stuff weighed, because it's something you do have to be aware of. The chassis does have a weight capacity that you can't go over. So the shower works very effectively. I'm able to stand upright in it. We've got the vent fan above it, so it's able to draw all that moist air out when you're showering. Nice rainfall shower head, and then we built in our own custom little cubby for soaps and shampoos, that sort of thing. Also in the bathroom here, we have our custom made sink. This used to be a serving bowl, and we drilled a hole in it with a diamond bit and plumbed it in. So on board, we have 100 gallons of freshwater storage. We have 80 gallons of gray water storage, and we utilize a composting toilet for solid waste. Behind the toilet, we have open storage. We have more of that Chicago brick that Micah showed you out front in a chevron style in here. The open storage gives it a nice open feel, and then for travel or transit, we move things that, you know, might be breakable or need to come down, but a lot of stuff is actually just fixed to the shelving, and we've traveled 2,000 miles, no problem, stuff stays on. I think for us going forward, even if it's not necessarily the bus, I think us just being more efficient in the way that we live is going to carry over to when we, you know, do a house or a homestead, or, you know, whatever type of structure comes next. A lot of people ask us, like, how do we do this, and how do we, you know, afford life on the road? One, it's not as expensive as I thought going in if you utilize the off-grid capabilities, the boondocking capabilities. If you're, you know, if you just eat cheap and clean, you can save a lot of money that way, a lot of resources that way. But we also were able to flip a home in California. When we say we sold everything, we literally sold everything. So we were able to use, you know, reinvest some of that money into our actual build and into ourselves. And then by doing this, it also led into other opportunities where now I'm able to consult other people on their builds, and just, you know, general tiny home living. We're able to share our knowledge and experience in that way. Micah does brilliant photography, and she's able to, now it's a different type of photography. I mean, you have to book on the road. So when we get to an area we know we're going to be for a while, she's able to connect with that, you know, local population and help people in that way if it's something that they're looking to do. You've done a wedding in Dallas, you know, photography in California a bunch. You know, we've been back and forth. We built our bus in Western PA, and now we're making our way back west towards California. All right, so stepping further down the hallway here, you're going to get into our walk-in closet / laundry room area. So to my left here, we have our washer-dryer combo. The washer-dryer we only use on grid. It draws too much power and water to be used effectively off-grid. It could be done, but it'd be like one load. Above the washer-dryer, behind the butcher block, is a pop-out wall. And behind there is all the control panels, my DC fuse box, some switches for water pumps, the fan for the toilet. And then it also have wires stubbed in to add water level gauges and inverter controls. And then I have another fire extinguisher. I have 3 fire extinguishers on this bus. One back here, one in the kitchen, and then one by the driver's seat up front. So you may have noticed there's no AC units in the ceiling or on the roof. Our AC unit, and it's actually an AC heat pump combination, is mounted underneath the bus, and it's ducted into the hallway here and in the kitchen underneath the pantry. So our AC unit is out of sight, but works great. And it is also a heat pump, but in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have sprung for the heat pump aspect of it, because it's not a super effective way of heating a small space like this for pound. On my right here, we have our office / clothing storage. So you have above on the top here, opens up into office space. We've got printer, paper, and we actually have our Wi-Fi router. There's power in here, so you're able to power your printer, power the Wi-Fi router. And then below there we have drawers that serve as clothing storage, and then toiletries, you know, bathroom stuff, bottom drawer here. Another little built-in is our clothes hamper in the wall. So it's designed to look like the wall, but you see this little tab here and it pops out, and then dirty clothes. that takes us right into the master bedroom. Now you're probably looking at this and you're thinking, you guys just climb, you just charge that every night, go into bed, you just hop up in there. Actually, fun little thing. We've got a step built into our bottom drawer. So you just pop that out and then climb yourself into the master bedroom. Nighty night. So bedroom, master bed, it's built as a queen size bed. We have on both sides, we've got, I guess you'd call it like a nightstand. It's so you've got his and hers nightstands, you've got his and her lights on separate switches. So if somebody's reading, the other person's powering down. We've got power in there as well. So if you're charging devices or working on your laptop or whatever, super functional that way. And then to the right here, you've got our window to the world. One thing I would possibly reconsider if I did another build would be to do like a double pane glass, because single pane glass is super inefficient as far as from an insulation perspective. So I would probably look into like a double pane glass. We were able to get these windows for almost nothing. We took them off of another RV, found a guy that was selling them. So that kind of did influence our decision, and they work great. I mean, they open, allow good airflow and stuff. So underneath this monster here is pretty heavy. We have it on a 200-pound strut, but it's a storage area. And then if you look in here, you can see our battery bank. We have 500 amp hours of AGM battery and a 4,000 watt Ames inverter. I will be redoing this. When I started designing the electrical system in the bus, I didn't really know what I was doing, actually. So I had to, in the process of doing it, I started to learn like what's better. So I will be going after lithium batteries just for the space. They're so much better. Around the corner, we have two C-Flow 3.1 gallon per minute pumps, DC pumps, and our water tank is underneath some of the stuff that you see stored in here. For power, we're currently using plug-in and an onboard generator. We're going to be adding solar. I designed the electrical system to easily take a solar setup. So I'm in the process of doing that. We have 3 20-pound propane tanks. At any given time, there's 2 tanks hooked up, and then there's 1 tank in reserve. So we always have plenty of propane. We do have here our outdoor shower coming soon. We plumbed it in. We will be adding that in. And so you'll have the ability to shower outside. Here's our tow. We have a Jeep Wrangler, great tow vehicle. You can flat tow them without any problems. The transfer case decouples so you can just roll. And we did our own setup, did some custom work here on the bumper to get it set up. Like I said, we've towed it about 2,000 miles, and we've only had one small issue. The first time we towed, one of these arms actually separated, and the Jeep was hanging on by one arm. We were very fortunate it didn't wreck us. We were going downhill. We just kind of coasted to a stop, and then we came back strong with cotter pins and a lot of welding. If you're going to tow with a bus, you do need to be aware that it does change the way that you drive. You have to be very aware of what's happening behind you. I will be adding a rear view camera. I didn't put that in my original design. I didn't think much of it at the time, but the ability to be able to look back here and see what's going on with your tow vehicle would be huge. So I've already started to work on how I'm going to add that into our current build. But all in all, we've been super happy with everything, and it's just awesome to see it working. If you're seeing this and you're into the idea of doing a tiny space and you want to talk it through with somebody, you can reach out to us on our Instagram is probably the most ideal way. But if you're a TikTok user and you want to DM us that way, please feel free. Whenever I was getting ready to do the build and when we were discussing doing the build, I don't feel like I reached out to enough of the community to fully understand what I was getting into. After we realized that the community was so generous and sharing, we use that resource, and we can, kind of come together and just help one another.
We are That Miller Life on Instagram, YouTube, and we just started a TikTok. So I have my personal Instagram page as well, Michael Miller, and I book photography and videography through that. We're so appreciative of the community that we've connected with throughout this process. That's been the biggest blessing, I think, through this whole thing. I mean, it's great to have this amazing tiny home, but it's, I think, very, very special to connect with people that we otherwise wouldn't have connected with.
Yep. And if you're looking at this and you're thinking, man, I'd love to do that, or I'll do that someday, just do it now. Even if it's just evaluating your life right now and getting rid of stuff you don't need, and just get yourself nice and light, and then get out there and do it.
Thank you so much for checking out our tiny home. We look forward to connecting with you, and give us a honk if you're on the road.
Thanks for watching today's video. For more information on how you could win your very own tiny home on wheels, head on over to omaze.com/THT.